me turn all this on. So, happy Thursday. All right, here is a fair warning for everyone. I am processing my emotions. Yeah, I am processing pretty good. And I am pissed. So if you don't want to hear the rantings of a very pissed off dragon, I would suggest just keep scrolling. It's my channel. I can do what I want. Also fine. I'm okay. And if nobody watches this and nobody listens to this, this is cool too. And I'm telling you right now, there are levels of pissed off, and there is a level of just the fucking audacity of some people. So just in case, like, y'all, like, a word to the wise. I'm just gonna say this. The internet keeps receipts. And it's really funny that when all of a sudden, it's interesting. It's interesting when you see the receipts and you see dates. And you see the dates that correlate with other things. And you realize that those dates have, like, those dates are particular, and it's retaliatory. It's out of retaliation. It's not out of healing. It's not out of anything else. It's not out of self-finding. It is about retaliation. And I know that made me sound really dumb right there, but I don't give a fuck right now. I'm so mad, like I'm on the verge of tears. And I am trying to process this right now, and it's like the level of fucking audacity of some people, and the level of just fucking manipulation and fucking, like, just insidious behavior. And the receipts come with dates. And the dates come with exact moments. And you know, it's interesting. I'm like shaking. I'm so fucking angry. Because the fucking audacity of some people. It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And I was talking with my therapist about it. And you know, the time some people have gaslit you and manipulated you to the point that you think you're crazy, that you think that you're the one that has not got a hold of reality, which is the whole point of gaslighting, is making you think like you're the problem and that you have to fix everything, and that you're like, your reality is altered. And when It never ceases to amaze me how there are some people out there who think I am stupid, who think I won't put two and two together. And I have worked very hard at my healing. And it never ceases to amaze me that there are people out there, and there are people still in my life who are more concerned about how they feel and their wants and how they need instead of how they've hurt me and what I need and what is healthy and good for me. Who don't take fucking accountability. See, this is me angry and trying not to literally unleash all hellfire and brimstone. This is me really trying very hard not to light the match and burn some bridges. This is me trying really hard not to go fucking scorched earth on some people. Because I want to. I want to go fucking scorched earth on people. Yeah, I want to. I want to burn the bridge and I want to not look back. Because I am so done. I am done. And this isn't the me of 2 years ago who was all like, no. This is the healing me. This is the me that is done with people's shit, done with their manipulation, done with their lies, done just not even like there are some people who I have been told that I need to cut completely out of my life, that I'm not, because they are living in my good graces. But I have reached the end of that because they've acted selfish and self-serving. And they think that they're sneaky and they think that they're smart and that they're hiding shit. And the only reason that I haven't completely eviscerated them is because I loved them. See, here is the thing about healing your inner child. It's the inner teenager, the angsty teenager that comes up behind and is pissed. And here is the other thing about learning how to process your emotions in a healthy way. You are given permission, because I have had many therapy sessions about this. You are given permission to be fucking angry. I am no longer talking myself out of not being angry. And let me tell you, I am beyond angry. I am livid. And anger is a really, really difficult emotion for me to process, in case anybody wanted to know, because I have surrounded myself up until a few years ago with people who told me to not be angry, to speak with kindness, to talk with them in a certain tone, in a certain way, and as to be able to. I am done with that. Because here's the thing. I can be honest without being cruel, but that doesn't mean I am still not pissed off. And I realize anger is a secondary emotion, and I realize this, and I am livid. It's still a valid emotion just because it's secondary, but like the primary emotion that I am feeling is fucking hurt. And used and manipulated. And then hurt that I would be made to feel bad because I'm just not instantly moving on and getting over it. Here, let me make something fucking abundantly clear to my community, to my friends, to my loved ones, to anyone hearing this. Let me make this really clear. When I say, okay, we are done talking about this, we are done having this discussion, we've had this disagreement, we've had this well, that's appropriate. We're done having this conversation. We've had this uncomfortable conflict. Anything else to talk about it because I'm moving on. When I say I'm moving on, it doesn't mean that I am absolving you of the consequences of your fucking actions. What that means is I am no longer going to ruminate and sit in the discomfort and hold this against you. But just because I'm not going to hold whatever it was against you, whatever it is, I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to concentrate and focus on it. Just because I say I'm moving on, okay, we've talked about it and I'm moving on, does not mean there are no consequences. I appreciate that, Paragon. You are not. Absolutely not. You've been very sweet to me, Paragon, and I appreciate that. And we have had open and honest conversations, and I have appreciated that as well. And you have been very respectful, which is more than I can say for some people. I am so livid. I'm so livid. I'm about to cry. I am livid at these people who use me. And then instead of actually doing the fucking work, instead of actually doing the things and actually respecting my boundaries and respecting me and actually doing the things that will heal them to make things better, instead they're gonna fucking blame me and then act like they've done nothing and then make it about me. And I came to this realization after Sunday that what I actually became in some of these people's minds is their fucking scapegoat. just like my parents did. And it angers me. And it hurts. It hurts. My therapist said on Tuesday, no one else's healing should involve or impact you because it's not your journey. The only way the healing is going to impact you should be positively, because if they're actually healing, they're doing their own work, because that's what it is. It's their personal healing journey, and that's what makes it personal. But I have become the scapegoat again. I am the villain. And after talking with my therapist on Tuesday, she goes, you can't control how people see you, and you can't, and you don't have to carry the weight of somebody else's healing, and you don't have to carry the weight of somebody else's choices. And that doesn't make you a bad person. And you have to be prepared to be the villain. And you're going to have to learn to accept that. I am so done. Let me make it really, really clear. I'm not stupid. You can't manipulate me anymore. I've seen the receipts, and I've seen the lies that you've told. And I am no longer going to accept anything except the absolute truth. I am no longer going to accept anybody's healing journey except my own and my children's. And if that makes me the villain, then fucking hand me a poison apple and get me a mirror. As my story, I am not a hero either. But I'm not a villain. I'm a fucking dragon. And I breathe fire. And I fly high. And I fight. And I win. I am angry because I am hurt. I am angry because I was lied to. I was angry because I was manipulated. I am angry because somebody I thought loved me didn't. I am angry that somebody underestimated just how intelligent I really am. I am angry that somebody would think I am angry I am angry because I have done all that I know how to do. And I still can't win. But I also am angry at myself because when you look behind the curtain, can't unsee that. There's no great and fucking powerful Oz and smoke and mirrors and sleight of hand. I see you. And there's something that is absolutely devastating and incredibly healing about that. I am a good person. Am I perfect? I'm not. But I don't deserve what I have been given. I don't deserve how I have been treated. I'm not a pawn in somebody's game. I am not the tool that people should use to heal themselves. And I should not be the reason that people aren't healing either. Or I shouldn't be the reason that their life is shit. And shouldn't be the reason. Because here's the reality. Life is shit. Shitty things happen. Shitty people happen. Trust me, I apparently have I have more shitty people in my life than I actually was really aware of until here recently. I am so hurt. I am hurt that somebody would think I was that stupid. I am hurt that somebody would think that I wouldn't put two and two together. I am hurt. And thank you for that, Paragon. Thanks. I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, there are people in my lives who aren't like that. But here's what I'm not gonna do. I am not going to retaliate. I'm not going to fight back. I'm not going to even make them sorry. Because that's just wasting my energy. What's the thing they always say? You shouldn't worry when she's yelling at you and she's fighting for you and fighting with you. You should worry when they stop fighting at all. That's where I'm at. Don't have the time or the energy to fight somebody or somebody's. And see, that's the problem. It's plural, and I get it. I understand. And it's the shitty fucking part about fucking healing is that and it's all the time. It's like the shitty part of healing is that you heal and you move forward and you outgrow people or you change and you move. Right, Jay. When you heal, you understand what is important to you. And you change and you grow. And sometimes that means letting people go. Or maybe just But I think what angers me so much that there are people in my life who think that they can do whatever they want and feel like they won't get caught. Like I won't put 2 and 2 together. And I know I said that before, but that's what I'm really pissed off about right now, because people in my life underestimate my emotional intelligence. And they also underestimate my actual intelligence. So let me make this very clear. My narcissistic mother had me tested, and because it feeds her vanity, because if her children are smart, then she looks really smart. So let me tell you, I have proof that my IQ is incredibly high, and I also have proof that my emotional intelligence is really fucking high. And because of my fucking trauma, my intuition is really fucking good. I'm really good at pattern recognition. And when you do the same things over and over and over again, it becomes a pattern. Neurospicy right there. I don't want to cut people out of my life. I don't want to walk away. I don't. But I have done some really, really fucking hard work. Really hard work. I am still doing really hard work. And with that, comes the benefit of I am not afraid of being alone anymore. I am not afraid of losing people who hurt me repeatedly. And that's not because I don't love them. It's because I love me more. And I am tired of, instead of doing the work the actions are both simultaneously a retaliation towards me and then a bid for my attention. Shit, my mother has that fucking done on fucking. She is the queen of that. So the fact that I mean, what? She's the queen of that. Doing things that will hurt me, all at the same time of begging me to talk to her and reconnect. So this game, I'm not new to this game. Except this time around, I've graduated from traumatized, wounded level to you can go fuck yourself boundary level. Which is really great for me, not so great for those people. Because it's checkmate every time. Boundaries aren't ultimatums. Boundaries are not fucking guideposts of behaviors that you need to change and just avoid those behaviors while trying to do the same behaviors wrapped in a different fucking package. That is not how that works. It's still a fucking boundary violation. And for any of those she's really good. Jay made the mistake of thinking that he was going to beat me. That was cute. And anybody, for boundary violations, anybody in the kink community can tell you, they don't take like that. There's no playing stupid. There's no, oh, I didn't mean to, or, oh, that's not what I meant. Boundary violations, be it in real life, in the kink community, just pretty much in general, are not fucking okay. And, for me, you get fucking one. And there are some people who have overstayed their one and overstayed that and because I let them. I am a good person. And I believe that. I've done some really fucking hard work. I'm not the problem. I've done that work in therapy too. I'm not the problem. And if you think I'm the problem, if you're making me the problem, and you're making me responsible for whatever it is that's going on, you might want to rethink that. Oh, thanks, Paragon. Because that's the thing about me being the black sheep growing up and the scapegoat of the family, is I grew up being the problem or being made to believe that I was the problem. And you know how many times in the past fucking 3 weeks, over and over and over again, that there are situations where I fervently believed that I was at fault, that I was the problem, that I was the bad guy, that I was the villain. And it's not even the same person. There are several people where I believed that it was whatever was going on in their life or the bad things that were happening was because of me. And in the past 3 weeks, how many times I have been told, you're not the problem. You were never the problem. And do you know how devastating and healing that is all at the same time. It's fucking trauma. Fucking trauma works. Fucking sucks. Healing fucking sucks. Healing feels like you're getting kicked in the chest and punched in the face, and then being put back together and hugged all at the same time. And it's very confusing, and it's very hard, and it sucks. So all of these people on social media who are telling you, healing's cathartic and healing is this and healing is that and be patient. Fuck it. There are some days where I feel like fucking hell. But I feel stronger. But I am not the problem. And I am I'm finally starting to see that. There are some things that we go over in therapy over and over again because we don't actually believe it. We know it to be true, but we don't believe it because our trauma doesn't allow us to believe it. And those voices don't ever go away. And that hurt and that pain and the scar doesn't ever go away, and it doesn't ever stop. But what happens is that voice that tells you you're the problem, even if the voice is somebody that is in your life now, even if that other person, you're replacing it because it's never your voice. The voice that tells you you're the problem, the voice that tells you that you're responsible for somebody else's feelings and emotions and pain and suffering and healing and peace, because it's never your voice. The brain weasels. Yeah, the brain weasels and that electric meatloaf. But you know what I do? I'm finally finding my voice. And some days it's strong, and some days it's not, and some days I struggle to hear it, and some days it sounds like shouting from the mountain, but it is my voice. And I am not the problem. And I am not the solution. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back that didn't hear that. And, maybe you should clip it because I don't know. Maybe this is something. I am not the problem, and I am also not the solution. I am not the tool. I am not the mental health tool that you use to soothe yourself or to make the peace. The common phrase, don't worry, Anna will handle it. Or the phrase, you're so much weaponized fucking incompetence and mental healing. Can we talk about that? I am so fucking done with that. I am so fucking done with the people that are like, literally, it's weaponized incompetence in mental health and healing. I have some people, more than I'd like to fucking admit, that just, it's performative. It's weaponized incompetence in mental health. They know the things that they need to do. They just don't want to do them, so they pawn it off to somebody else. Make it somebody else's problem and somebody else's somebody else's thing to fix. And you know what? I don't have time for that either. I am not the problem. I am not the solution. I am not the hero, and I am also not the villain. And healing is hard, and trauma work is hard, and it's ugly, and it sucks. And I'm angry at myself, which I talked about in therapy. I know. But I'm angry at myself. I'm angry at myself that like I keep the talking about voices in our head. It's really hard to try to decipher when the voices you trying to decipher what voice you're hearing is when you're telling yourself you should have seen that. How did I not see that? How did I allow that to go on so long? How did I not see this behavior? How did I not? Well, it's really hard to see red flags when you're colorblind. There's a part of me that is very forgiving. And loving. But I am hindsight. Yeah. Been a lot of time looking in that rearview mirror. It's like driving the same road over and over and over again. You know, like especially when you're driving to and from work, if you have a long commute. For those of us who don't work from home, but like you're driving somewhere that you drive all the time, and then one day you're just, instead of just focusing on like where you're going or zoning out or whatever, you turn to the side, or you're looking on the side of the road, and then you start seeing things that you never noticed were there before. Like, how did I not know that was there? I pass by it every single fucking day. It's because you weren't looking. I wasn't looking. I didn't even know, because that whole saying, when you know what you're looking for, you know what you're looking at. I didn't even know what I was looking for. So I can't, even though I am angry at myself, I am working on that part of my healing and my grace of that guilt and that shame and that anger at myself for not seeing these things. But at the same time, I didn't know what I was looking for. So I didn't know what I was looking at when I was presented with it. I am not a villain. I am just because like I need time and space to heal. Because I don't trauma dump on everyone does not make me shut off or closed, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to leave everyone, because that says a whole hell of a lot more about that other person than me. And let me tell you, I know what that panic is like when that person doesn't respond to your text within 5 minutes or even a day, because then your brain starts going all wonky and hooty doodle. Like, yeah, hooty doodle. It's an official term. So, but like it goes all swirly, whirly, twirly, and catastrophic, because they're going to leave you and they're doing all the bad things, and you start telling yourselves all of these things. I get it, and I can't say that I don't still do it. However, I've done enough work in my life to understand, recognize this is what I'm doing. Okay, let me recognize that pattern. What is the actual truth? I don't know the truth. So let me pull out some other tools in my toolkit, because if I continue down this path, I here's why I love the kink community so much. And I talked about this. We talked about this on our After Dark panel at Con Carolinas, but it bears repeating, because here is what those that are healthy, because there are a lot of people who are completely unhealthy and using kink in the wrong way for the wrong reasons. But you know what? I can't control them. What I can control is me and what I do. What I do love about the kink community is the fact that they don't deal with bullshit. And what I mean is, number one thing is communication. You have to be completely and 100% transparent about everything. You can't just leave things out. You can't just not say things. You can't just try and do one thing but say something else, or you can't be performative. You have to be 100% clear, or you will be kicked out of any community that is worth their grain of salt. And you will end up in toxic dynamics. I love the kink community because it's about communication, it's about trust, it's about boundaries. And nobody fucks with your boundaries, because if you violate any boundary, you get not invited back to things. I have met several people who had boundary violations and weren't invited back to events. Because that was part of the rules that were set forth. Don't violate the boundaries. Communication, trust, boundaries, all of the things. And if you can't be 100% honest and open and transparent and communicative, you do not need to be in kink. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn. Because kink is fun. Kink can be healing. Kink is not something you fuck around with. I learned that the hard way. I had some really terrible experiences because I wasn't 100% open and honest and communicative about my boundaries, about where I stood, about my mental health, about my emotional standing. Because here's the other thing that I found really interesting, especially in the area that I am, that if you want to get into a dynamic with somebody, especially if it's a polycule of any type, like sometimes like they will sit down, if they're vetting someone, they will actually ask you about your mental health. What are your triggers? What's your trauma? What are things that you're working through? They will talk about your mental health, because that's important. It's really painful. And I've sort of weaned myself. I see, this is why I process, because in this past hour I went from really, really livid, like about to literally scorch the earth, to okay, now that I'm processing. I'm really hurt because the situation I'm about to describe has actually happened to me a few times. And this most recent time, I think this most recent time, because it is so significant, because it is something that I've experienced more than once, has been incredibly painful. And so there were several days where a big conflict happened. And by big conflict, it was usually something that upset the other person, got upset or triggered or something. And then I was made to feel wretched. It happened in a couple of my relationships, in my marriage, and significant days that I could remember the date. I can remember it because it involved something or whatever. Dates that I got made to feel bad, that I got made to feel that what I was doing was hurting them, and I got read for filth and made to feel so bad and ashamed and guilty because something made them feel something, and they made it my fault. And then I get presented with evidence, hard evidence, paper, digital evidence on those same dates. Where they weren't really mad at me or upset with me. They were just making me feel bad because they were lying to me, and they were doing something that they should be ashamed of, and that they were not being honest about. See, this last time, there was one time that happened to me, and I literally took this piece of paper, because I got handed a sheet of paper with dates and numbers and information on it, and I looked at it, and I literally collapsed on the floor. Broken. Because I looked at these dates and I could remember what happened. And then I was looking at the reason that I got read for filth was not my fault. Most recent time that that's happened, I just got angry. I got indignant. I got pissed off. And I started streaming. Yeah. Because this last time happened tonight. And I'm reeling. I'm still reeling. I'm just not broken. I feel betrayed because I feel used. I'm not unkind. Doesn't mean I'm not angry. So I am setting this boundary and I am making it very clear. I will accept nothing but transparency and the truth. I will not accept responsibility for something that I didn't do. Not. And if you don't like that, anybody doesn't like that, okay, then don't like it. But here's the thing I thought about, because I have been struggling. My ADD, my neurodivergence went woo, because, hamster wheel. Here's the thing I thought about today, the other day, because I was talking about a couple of situations in my therapy session, and I mentioned, I was like, fuck. I was like, I don't want to feel like I'm bashing this person. I don't want to feel like I'm, because of course you've been if you're like me, you've been gaslit all your life, because if you talk negatively about anyone, then you're just talking shit. Like that's the whole thing, is like, if you that's the whole thing that I have surrounded myself with, because I didn't see this. But just because somebody says something about what you've done or confronts you about what you've done and it's negative, that doesn't mean they're shit talking you. You need to take a breath and go, okay, is what they're saying something I can take care of, or is it's a conversation. But I'm like, I would always be like, oh, well, this person's hurt me, but I don't want to say anything because I'm just talking shit. I never wanted to talk about really anyone that hurt me, especially in my therapy, other than my mom, because I didn't want to talk about that, because I didn't want to feel like I was like talking shit about people, because I'm like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to feel like I'm talking shit about them. And my therapist was looking at me and she goes, okay, well, here's the deal. She goes, if I were to talk to this person about the same situation, would your stories be so wildly different? Or would they at least be within the same lane? Because everybody's view on a situation is different, because my view is different than your point of view, and it may come off in feelings and emotions and different lives and different people. But if we're going by just the facts, which is what we work on in DBT, if we're just going by just the facts, just the situation, just the facts, would their story still be the same? I'm like, yeah. At least yeah. If we're just going by just the facts, I acted this way. I said this. They said that. They acted this way. It's a fact. Those are facts. She says, you're not talking shit. You're just processing and being honest. I went, My mother doesn't work therapy. There are a lot of people who don't work therapy. They attend therapy. They spend a lot of money to sit and have somebody listen to them for an hour. And if that's what you need to do, and that's what you need, I mean, good for you. That's not what I do. But I can tell you right now, my mom's therapist, before I went no contact, literally called me. She called me. And I was talking to her on the phone. At work because she called me during work hours. And she was going on and on and on about the things I was doing with my mom. None of it was true. And then my therapist called my mom's best friend and was saying the same things about me. And literally my mom's best friend goes, "That I don't know who you're talking about, but that's not the Anna that I know." And that she would never do anything. And actually, I know what she's done, and she never did any of that. But again, and I know that sounds very judgmental of me, and it is a little bit, if I'm being honest, and I'm going to admit that is a little judgy of me. Oh, no. Oh, nerdy. Well, no. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, no. I almost hung up on the woman, but I was just like, okay. And she was telling me all these things and making all these excuses for my mother. And I'm like, it was blatantly clear in that phone call that my mother left everything out about what she's done to me. She was more than forthright and forthcoming about all of the things, and that there was no self-reflection on the actions that she did that affected me. She left all of that out. And I didn't want to even get into it with her, with the therapist on the phone, because it wasn't worth it. Because again, she's not my therapist. And what would be the point? There was no point. But that's how people garner sympathy. That's how people soothe themselves. And you know what? Do what you need to do. There are some people who would rather replace you with somebody else or talk shit about you than actually take some accountability for themselves. Because that's another boundary for me that is literally non-negotiable. I will not take... No, I'm not going to take it. If you can't take accountability for the actions that you do, whether good, bad, or indifferent, I don't need that in my life. I'm not going to take it. It's not my job. I really want to play a bang bang shoot 'em up game of some sort. I'm usually like wishy-washy on that, but I've gotten to the point now in my life that I realized from my mom, from my marriage, the various friendships and relationships I've had in my life, Don't, like, if you hurt me, don't give me gifts. Give me accountability. Don't give me gifts if something is not right. Don't that whole the husband's done something wrong and the only time he gives her gifts is when they're in trouble. I mean, I don't need that. Because that's not genuine. When praise only benefits them. I'm not the problem. I'm also not the solution. I'm not an object to be owned. And I'm not a role model. I'm fucking Anna. I'm a good person who is changed, who is looked herself in the mirror and hated who she saw and loved it at the same time. Well, it only took me an hour, which is good for me because sometimes it takes me two. Sometimes I'm on here ranting and rambling and doing all this verbal processing. And sometimes, like y'all have been on here, it takes me like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Sometimes I'm talking for a long time. But look at me. Growth. I went from really pissed off to, all right, I've talked myself down. I did it all by myself. Well, I mean, y'all are watching, but I mean, you know. I'm allowed to be angry when the actions of somebody else hurts me. I'm allowed to be upset and feel uncomfortable when receipts are presented to me to realize that I have been used. I'm allowed to not agree with somebody's actions, behaviors, or feelings. I'm allowed to not agree with them. I'm allowed to not agree with their opinion. That doesn't mean that it makes it true for me. As long as I am being honest and transparent, I cannot control somebody else. And that's hard. Oh, that one's a fucking hard one. That one's hard. I cannot control somebody else's feelings, thoughts, or actions. But that does not mean that I have to ignore the patterns of behavior that are toxic. My therapist would be so proud of me right now because I am not the problem and I am not the solution. The reason I say that is because in my therapy session for the longest time, I would, be talking about certain people and certain situations. And I would just be like going on and on and on and on about the things that I did that made them hurt and the things that I did. Like, and not in an accountability way, but in I am taking on the emotional workload for this other person. And she's like, but you weren't the problem. You're not the problem. And I would argue with her and tell her, but if I'm the problem, and if I'm the problem, then I can be the solution. So if I can take on being the problem, if I'm the problem, then I can fix it because I'm the solution. But that's not okay. I'm not the problem, nor am I the solution. And I'm going to keep saying that to myself. I am not the tool in which you need to fix yourself or fix your life. And you know what? I may be the villain in somebody's story. And I have to accept that. But I gotta hope somewhere that I'm not the villain in everyone's story. And I gotta hope, because this has remained true. And they always ask, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? I want to leave the world a little bit better than I found it. And I don't mean the entire world. And I don't mean everyone, because that's impossible too. Not everyone's going to like me, and not everyone's going to be my best friend, and not everyone's going to have a good experience with me, because God knows they don't. And I may be the villain in some people's story, but I have to believe that my legacy is going to be that I left my world a little better than I found it. I think I am. Because you know what? I'm better. I'm getting there. And if I'm being honest, I'm not ready to burn bridges just yet. But you know what? Just because I'm not going to burn the bridge doesn't mean that I have to continually allow them to violate the boundary. Cross that boundary whenever they want. You have to at least go through customs or some shit like that. You know, I was really angry an hour ago. Livid. Like, livid. Like, the whole reason I went live was to keep from calling a couple of people and giving them their heart on a platter. Yes, I know, right? That's why I went live, so I can verbally process, to keep from probably saying things that I would regret. And healing is hard. It's ugly. And it sucks. It's painful, and it's a lot of work. But right now, Right now, it feels really good. It didn't an hour ago, but right now, it really does. Whereas because I processed, I used my tools, I said my piece, I was honest. And I didn't back down. I didn't apologize for feeling angry, and I'm not apologetic about the boundaries I have to set, and I'm not apologetic, and I don't feel bad.
You have to take out your trash.
It's trash night. But I don't feel bad for demanding respect. And I don't feel bad for speaking out. And I don't feel bad about believing that I am worth that respect. And I'm not afraid that somebody's going to be angry. And what if they hear that? What if they take what I say and misinterpret it? What if, like, all the, okay, they're going to take what they're going to do, whatever they're going to do. I'm not done healing yet, but you know what? And healing is ugly and it's hard and sometimes feels damn near impossible. But sometimes when you really stop and you sit in the present and take account of where you are in the present. And yes, that is something my therapist said for me. That is something that I need to do, is stop worrying about the past and stop looking into the future, but really try to be in the present. I'm not apologizing for how I feel. I'm not apologizing for expecting my boundaries to be met, and I'm not apologizing for not being okay with being used and mistreated and being treated badly. And that's a step for me. That's growth. Not huge growth, because there's some people who will tell you like it is and give zero shits about it, and God bless them. I wish I were like that. I'm not ready to burn bridges. I'm not ready to walk away, but I'm sure as fuck really close. But in my own time. Okay. So I have processed. I am no longer livid. I am no longer the spokesperson for Arugs cutlery. I am also did not go scorched earth on some people. Yay! I felt very much like the ending scene, or not the ending scene, but that last scene of one of the scenes in Game of Thrones where Daenerys is riding the dragon. She just fucking lays waste to the town. Like, just, she's sitting there and she's just, something snaps and she just fucking, yeah, that's where I was. I mean, I'm not now. Take accountability. You want to get places with me? Like this. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? This is ranting and this is rambling and this is just chatting, and it is my channel. And you know what? I'm not going to say everything perfect, and it's going to be fine. But like, for me, if people want to connect with me, don't perform. Like, be honest, how you feel, where you're at. Be an adult, respect me, respect how I feel, and I will respect how you feel. And take accountability. Because for me, that's huge. And it's huge for me. I think why taking accountability for myself, me taking accountability as well as somebody, why accountability is so important for me, it's because it's a repeated behavior. It's recognizing the behavior and going, yes, I hurt you, and not making an excuse for it, but going, I understand that I hurt you. And I'm sorry. I know that there are consequences for my actions, but I understand that what I did hurt you, and not making an excuse for it. Not making me feel bad, that I feel bad or whatever. Because I spent a lot of time, I think why accountability is so important for me is because I'm the scapegoat. I'm the black sheep. I got spent so much time being told, you're the reason I feel this way. I did this because you did that. What? Yeah, it was a lot. I was feeling hurt. I was feeling triggered. I was feeling this. So I did that because you triggered me, or you did this, or because you were doing something that triggered me. So I decided to do that. That's not accountability. Accountability is going, I was triggered, so I made some poor choices. No, that's Darvo. What's Darvo? Oh, nerd. Tit for tat trigger trauma. Oh my God, yes. Like, if I had $1 for every time somebody said, I was triggered because of something you did, and then got blamed for it or made to feel responsible for it, I would be a fucking rich ass woman. What? Hey, maybe I can understand maybe something I did triggered you, but then the expectation that I need to fix it, or I need to accommodate your trauma. Darvo, deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. I'm going to say that again for the back. Darvo, deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. Nerdy Will is the story of my life. The story of my life. Not my fault that I made these poor choices because you triggered me, or you did this, or you didn't do that. And I am here because of you. Exhausting. Narcissist prayer. You know what I find interesting, Nerdy Will? You know what I find interesting about The life of the black sheep, I only because of you. Yes. I don't understand this whole golden child thing where they can do no wrong and this whole victim mentality that they have. I don't know. I can't, like, because of, like, Jay, you get it because you're the black sheep too, but like because we're always wrong. So it's like, but I don't. It's not my fault. Like, it feels like every golden child that I've ever come across it's very much, it's not my fault. That's their like default. Which I know it's their trauma, and I've done all like I've done some work on the golden child and trying to connect with my sister and all of that stuff with and Arugs and that whole they can't fail. So if they make it, like, I don't know this for sure because I'm not a therapist, and please don't take anything I say for sure, but I feel from my point of view, from the black sheep point of view, is that because the golden child can't fail because that hits their value and their worth, they have to make it somebody else's fault. That's what I feel, because that's what I've always felt in any situation, is it's my fault because they can't be at fault. I'm wrong because they have to be right. Oh, and that was like the cornerstone of my marriage for years. I was wrong because he had to be right. Because if he, and like this came out in joint therapy, because if he were wrong, then what that would, because I think, what did he say? Like, he's like, what would that mean? If he were wrong, then what good is he? And he literally said that, and I was stunned. Like, but yeah, we're always wrong. It's not even that we're the victim. I think black sheeps don't play the victim because they've just accepted that they're wrong. You know, I can't speak for anybody else, but I feel like that's why, like, a lot of times, like, those type of dynamics in relationships and friendships happen is because, like, the black sheep, the scapegoat, the person who's always wrong, like, they've just sort of accepted they're always wrong. So it like, so the person, like the golden child and the person on the pedestal that they're always the victim. Somebody else did them wrong because they can't be wrong. So the wrong things are happening to them because somebody else did it to them. And so they're the victim. They're always the victim. When things go wrong, it isn't their fault. But see, for us, everything's our fault. So we just take it on the chin. Like, I don't think I've ever played the victim. It's classic. The sun was in my eyes. The controller is broken. Left on time, but you gave me the wrong address. That's why I'm 3 days late. Yeah, that's about right. We can't play the victim because those are only excuses if we, right? I'm a pretty forgiving person. Like, so many people have said, like, I don't even know why, like, especially when I have cut people out of my life or gone no contact because of them. And they're like, you should have done that a long time ago. I'm like, well, yeah. Honestly, like, the whole reason, like, I love my mother. I do. I love her. And I do miss her a lot. I do miss her a lot. I miss having, I miss that. However, I know that she will never take account. She will never. No, I can't say that. Never say never. The likelihood of her taking accountability and really doing the work that would require me to want to break no contact and have a healthy connection with her is very, very slim. And that's okay. I've accepted that. I accepted that I'll probably never get that conversation that I need to have, and that's okay too. That doesn't mean I don't love her. It just means that I have held my boundary, and I've set that for myself. Except in anything, except, I mean, fair. And she will have to do a lot of her own work that I don't see her doing. Like, because I get updates on her through my sister, and you know, I here recently, like, I've gotten updates on her, and like, I know it's very, very obvious the things that she says about me to my relatives and to my sister and to my uncle, and the things that she says, I know that she hasn't done the work. It's very telling. Like, I can tell when somebody hasn't done the work and somebody isn't doing the work and has no intention of doing the work. It is very telling about when they because it's how they talk about you. But most of the time, you want to mend fences with me if we want to grow and repair something that has happened. For me, it's a very serious kind of, like, both of us being honest and self-reflecting and being accountable for the actions that have hurt the other person, and not just saying, well, we need to change. Like, that's not it. It's really going, I recognize the behaviors that I have done that have hurt you and that were unhealthy. And I realize that it will take time, but I am willing to put in the work. And sometimes you can put in the work for years and maybe it's just not enough. Maybe it's just better if you're not in each other's lives, and that sucks too. But that doesn't mean that you have to hate the person or there has to be ill will. It's just understanding the pain and the damage is done. I'm not a bad person. I'm not the problem. I've been a problem. But not, like, in a fun way. But if I'm being really honest, I want to be loved for just existing. I don't want to be loved for how I make somebody feel or for filling a void or I feel like I've sometimes been told I love you, but there are conditions. It's like the terms and conditions of I love you. But I feel like I've been lied to in certain aspects. Deceived. Been told there are no strings, but there sure as hell a big cost. And then I'm left worse off than I was when I started. Had I just did it myself. This is why I don't accept help. This is why I don't trust people. Trusting people is hard. I don't like it and I don't want to do it. That's truth. That's transparency. I have been lied to and deceived so much that like that whole, no, I don't want to, I don't want to ask for help. I don't want to, I don't want to receive help. I'll try to figure out how to do everything on my own. I'll try to do the hyper independence is because I got told, no, I want to help you. I want to help you with no strings. And there's no, it's all pure and real and it's fine and it's all up front. And yet you get then you get sent the invoice of the cost of the bill that like you didn't realize that you were having to pay. I don't want to be a burden. I don't know how many times I've said that. I don't want to be a burden. I need to help, but I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to feel like I'm using you. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to ask for your help. I don't want to receive your help because I don't want you to think that I'm using you or any of these things because that is not my intention and I don't want any of that. That is something I'm absolutely afraid of. I'm terrified of that. I am terrified of somebody going, well, you're just fucking using me and you just such a terrible person. Oof. Ew, I didn't need to open up that trauma tonight. No, you know what? One trauma at a time. You know what? I'm not saying that I'm going to ignore what I just said. I just don't need to unpack that tonight. I have unpacked one trauma. I have talked myself through the trigger. I think I'm good. I think I don't need to unlock that trauma tonight. So we're just going to put that right here in the I will deal with later the pile right here. That sounds like a tomorrow problem. Yeah. But anyway. Yes, ma'am. Boop. Oh, I know. Sweet kitty. Sweet kitty. Okay, enough. She wants my lap and I'm not letting her. Okay. I think I've processed. I think I'm good. And she's still got in my lap. Are you freaking kidding me? You know what? I think I might game for a minute. I should be cooking. I should be baking. But I think I might wake up in the morning and do it. So I don't have to do it tonight. I think... I just got to figure out what to do with the information. Now that I am done emotionally processing and I am no longer angry and I have used my tools to come down from the emotional mind down into the wise mind or calmed myself down from my emotions, and now it is time for me to process the information that I got given earlier tonight and figure out what I'm going to do with it and where I'm going to go with it. And if I'm gonna eat, like, I probably should say something, but then why? There's open up a can of worms. Yeah, I just find it funny. People forget. People forget. The internet doesn't forget. And receipts. You can't argue with receipts. That's why most stores require you to have them when you want to, exchange something. And most of them are electronic now. So, yeah. Yeah, I know, Jay. I know. Like, I don't really think that there is a point in trying. I mean, I have the receipts, I have the truth. Like, that whole DBT, like, just the facts. I have the facts now. Like, it's in black and white. I have the facts. And so the person that these receipts are about, like all they're going to do is try and talk circles around it. It's not even worth it. I'm pissed off about it. I'm angry about it. I also find it, like, past the anger, I find it quite humorous. I'm like, really? Yes, it's like there's people, it's like, you don't think that they think that they're sneaky and that they're not going to get caught, but they're doing all of the things that are going to get you caught. It becomes me more than it does become me more. All right. Well, thank you for joining me for my see, look, an hour and 45. See, I just keep fucking talking. And 2 hours goes by. But if you want some truth, some transparency. Yeah, right. You want some transparency. I think the real reason that I go live and I talk about this stuff, yes, is verbal processing. Yes, I need to talk it out. I need to hear myself talk it out. And I think that it's helpful for me to talk, not talk with somebody, but just talk. That's why journaling is so beneficial for me. But I think that there is a part of me that, the reason I do this is because it keeps me present and I don't disassociate. And I actually try to walk through a process, and it's not clean, and it's not perfect, and it's not a formula, and it's different every time, and it's a lot of it sounds like incoherent ramblings of a crazy dragon, but that's fine too. But I think that there's a part of me that the reason that I stream sometimes my random ramblings and things like this, and streams, my solo streams like this, are to keep me present, because I am so apt to disassociate. And so it forces my brain, and for me and my emotional side and my inner child and everybody, to stay present, and not run, because I could easily just shut it off and disassociate. Like, not this whole, I'm disassociating, like legitimately, like check out. And this keeps me present. And I want to stay present. I don't want to run from the bad feelings. I don't want to run from the anger. I don't want to run from the accountability. I don't want to run from any of that. I want to be present. I want to feel it. Not in this whole masochistic, I want to feel the pain type of way. It's the, I know I don't get stronger if I don't go through the storm. Just like every day, my echo reminds me, smooth seas does not make a skilled sailor. I want to be a fucking pirate captain. A dragon pirate. I need... Yeah. So, I think I'm out of things to say now. I think I finally gotten to the end of processing. I don't know. I think I might go game for a little bit after I go to the bathroom. I gotta take a bio break. So, I probably won't stream gaming, but maybe not. It's my Friday. Tomorrow's the 4th, Independence Day. Woo! So, everybody be careful tomorrow for those in the U.S. For those not in the U.S., it's July 5th for you. It doesn't really matter, but you know, I would say happy Independence Day, but you know, I don't have a lot of freedom because I'm a woman living in Texas, so and not getting very far. But hopefully, my plans are to go sit out at a friend's lake house by their pool and on their boat, and I really want to get tan tomorrow. That is my goal. Is this entire weekend, I want to get dark. I want to see the sun. Because I know my busy season is coming up, like literally right after the week after 4th of July, it's going to just start, shit's going to hit the fan because schools are going to start coming back in. No. So I want to get dark. So we'll see. Yes. So you guys have a good evening. And that's the sound of my daughter's laundry being unbalanced. So I'm about to go help her out with laundry. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Did you really just high five over me?
No, we didn't.
Okay, we're live. Hello.
You don't even do that well from the front seat.
Okay.
The bear is coming with the cup and spoon.
That's a straight up PBR for the table.
Yeah, 3 of 3.
Holy shit. She ain't judging us at all.
Did you really just high five over me?
No, we didn't.
Okay, we're live. Hello.
You don't even do that well from the front seat.
Okay.
The bear is coming with the cup and spoon.